Hello, it's Sarah Berry from stampwithsarah.co.uk. Today I'm using Vertical Greetings and Thankful Thoughts. I love this stamp set. This is one of my favourites. I like it because it's one of the first ones we've ever had that have the greetings vertically down, so we can put them on the card. Now, having said that, I won't be using those today. I'm using a thank you, a note of thanks out of this stamp set. So to start with, I'm using Crumb Cake card, which is A5 folded in half. And then I've got some crumb cake, again another layer of crumb cake, which is going to go onto here. But before I do that, I want to emboss it. So I've got this brand new embossing folder that I've just ordered, and it's Garden Chalice. It's not even been out of the packet. Just sniff it. Does it smell? Okay. Bit weird. Okay, so that goes into my folder. Beautiful, look at that. And then into my Big Shot. So if you have just move this. If you aren't familiar, I will just tell you how to do the Big Shot sandwich. So my Big Shot comes with the Big Shot platform, the thin die adapter and 2 clear plates. Now you can buy the new Big Shot platform and the thin die adapter together from my Stampin' Up shop. This is the new version, and it's actually been toughened inside the middle strip to help prevent that bowing and that dipping, because we're always putting dies in the middle. You can see it's got a reinforced centre. So we don't use the thin die adapter, we just use the Big Shot platform, a thin plate, the embossing folder with the cardstock inside, and then another plate on top. Winding it through once is sufficient. Alright, thank you, Big Shot. Oh wow. Okay, so I've got a choice. I can use the deboss side or the embossed side. I think I want the deboss side. The idea for this card is it's going to sort of give the impression that it's wallpaper, because I'll be using the window die. I can't remember what it's called. Hearth and something die. I will put that on the screen, of course, and just put some Tombow, actually plenty of Tombow because it's a bit raised, so I want it to stick. Probably screaming at me to say that's too much. I don't want it to not stick. There we go. Just use my bone folder to smooth that out. It's a bit wonky. Okay. You were right, too much glue. Okay, so next I want to die cut this window frame using what's this one? Soft suede cardstock. So I'll bring back my Big Shot, and this time I do want to use my thin die adapter. So we've got the Big Shot platform, the thin die adapter, a plate, cardstock with the die on top facing down, and then another plate. The clicking noise is normal, that's okay. Just check my die's all right. Wonderful. Now I just need to use my die brush to get this out of the die. The die brush comes with a spongy mat and a funny looking hairbrush with wire bristles. You want to pop those bristles into these holes, and that just pops it out gently without damaging your die cut. Just needs a little bit of encouragement. There we go, there's my window. Now I'm going to use my grid paper because I want to measure the width of this window. I'm going to be stamping behind this window. So if I use my grid paper, I know my white card needs to be 6 centimetres. I've got some thick Whisper White today because I'm going to use my watercolour pencils and a blender pen. So 6 centimetres on my trimmer. If you've not got a Stampin' Up trimmer, you really need to consider looking at one. It's my favourite tool. 6 by, let's say, 7.5. Okay, so this is going to sit nicely behind our window. Shall we check? Yes, perfect. Okay, so I would like to use one of the trees, the topiary trees. This one will be perfect. That fits nicely on this block, which is block H. There we are. Before I stamp, I want to just create a bit of background. So I have 3 watercolour pencils. I've got Pacific Point, Old Olive and Whisper White. Now I'm just going to give the impression that this is grass. And then a bit of sky. And then you just take the blender pen, which is a double-ended pen with brush tips, and it's like a clear ink, like invisible ink, and I'm just going over my watercolour pencil and smoothing out that line. There we go, that'll do. Now to colour in the tree, instead of using ink pads, I'm going to use the Stampin' Up markers. Now the colours I've got are Soft Suede, Tranquil Tide, Crayon Craze and Wild Wasabi. Now you can see I want 3 different colours, okay, 3 different sections. So I've got the Cajun Craze for the pot, Soft Suede for the tree, the trunk of the tree, and then the 2 greens for the leaves at the top. So you just use the brush tip on the Stampin' Up marker at an angle and push the ink around. Next one, just be careful, let's just zoom in. There we go. Just be careful that you don't touch the one you've already coloured in. And then finally a little bit of green. And it's okay to mix the colours on the nibs here. Okay, my stamp's all coloured in. I'm going to turn it over and place it onto my picture. Oh, nice, look at that. Okay, so this is the picture, all done. And then when we add the window over the top, it really makes it look amazing. So I've got some foam strips. These are 23 centimetres long in a continuous strip. That's 9 inches long, and you get 40 in a packet. So what I want to do is I just use my paper snips and trim a couple of sections, 4 lengths. So one across here and here, there and there, and nothing in the middle. So I know it's like that, about 6 centimetres and about 7.5 centimetres. Whoops. There we go. One across there. One at the bottom. And then 2 down the side. Now these are thicker than normal foam pads. It doesn't say how thick they are, but let's see. Yeah, about 4 millimeters. Okay, so that's my window frame. To bring back in the card, now you can see why I wanted this to look a bit like wallpaper now. There, perfect. So I'm going to use some glue. And then peel the backing off the foam strips. Just be careful you don't put your fingers through the window. If you wanted to, you could put a thin layer of acetate in before you stuck it down. And there's the window. Wonderful. Okay, so the message, the greeting, I want just, a note of thanks. Which is this one. I'm going to stamp that onto some of our Whisper White. Using the soft suede ink. Nice, I like that. And then the other die that you get in the set is this one, which is like a little windowsill. And that actually frames this greeting perfectly. So I'm going to pop it through the Big Shot and then have it stuck at the bottom. Okay, it's all ready. Look at that. fan, I think I might just add a little bit of colour around that. I'm going to use one of our sponges it's like a wedge. They come in full sponge shapes and then I've just cut the sponge in half and then in half again, so it's a bit more manageable. Great. I think I might just put some colour on the card as well. Which that's nice, that picks up the embossing or the debossing. Last edge. There we are. And then the foam pads, I think I'll pop 3 on. So 1 in the middle and 2 at one at either end. Whoop. I can either sit directly on there, but for space and height I'm going to pop it underneath. And there we are. There you have a note of thanks card using the window frame die and the garden trellis embossing folder. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please let me know what you think in the comments. Have you tried something like this before? Maybe you fancy having a go yourself. Don't forget to subscribe if you liked my video so you can see more of my videos to come. Thanks for watching. Speak to you soon. Bye.